Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasani Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shankund Radhakund Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Shri Radha Radhanath Ki Shri Giri Govardhan Ki, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi Ki, Shri Shri Nitai Gaura Sundar Ki, Go Premanande. All glories to their Samo devotees. All glories to their Samo devotees. All glories to their Samo devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Just where did the Mridanga and Mridanga player just go? Yeah, because we're going to have more kirtan. And we'll need, huh? Okay. Yeah, but we need anyway, okay. For sure. You know too much about, maybe more than I know about me. But let me say a couple of words about His Holiness Adhoksaja Swami Maharaj. He's from Russia, and he's a traveling preacher. And very senior devotee. He's been a devotee many years. Skolko let? Vyushya Parkrynie. Skolko let? 32 Goda. Means 32 years he's been a devotee. Yeah. And very knowledgeable and great presenter of Krishna consciousness. Great kirtan lead. Speak to him. You know, Russian is a more complicated language than English. You know, in English, if you meet someone, if you say welcome, you know, welcome, it's just 2 syllables. But in Russian, you have to say Dobro Pazhalovat. He's laughing. But it's true, because it's a longer language. You know, a book in English may be 100 pages. In Russian, it's probably 150 or something. So look, if you can remember Dobro Pazhalovat, you can say that to him. If you want to just say hello, how's that? Hello. That's very simple. You have to say, I mean, to do it sort of properly, Zdravstvuyte. You see, he understands. That's what you say. Zdravstvuyte. But I'm going to suggest that you say to him, when you meet him, you know, he may wander around and have a look and sit by the bonfire or something. You can say, what is the Russian equivalent of hi? You can't get more simple than that. 1 syllable. Just say hi. You know how you say hi in Russian? Privet. You can say that. It's just 2 syllables. Privet. Privet, Maharaj. Yeah, some are here from Phoenix. You can say privet to them. How's that? You can manage that. Is Shreya here? Oh, she's not here. Anyway, teacher, privet. Okay, so let's not get too much into things like that, but try it. It's nice to speak to people in their own language. You know what someone said? If you speak to someone in a language they understand, means like a foreigner. If you speak to them in a language they understand, it goes to their head. But if you speak to them like a foreigner who, from a different language, different culture like that, if you speak to them in their own language, it goes to their heart. Did you hear that before? Anyway, yeah. So, but here we are, devotees, we're gathered here, having the annual Hare Krishna bonfire program. And, just one thing at this stage, I could say, look, we've got all this beautiful carpet here. Look at this. Magnificent. If anyone would like, you can come and sit on the carpet. You can come and sit close. As we say sometimes, I will not bite you. I am vegetarian. But you don't have to sit at a long distance away. And I can tell you one thing, I've seen this devotee here with his hoodie on, and now it's over his head, it's okay. It's colder out there than it is here. I've been in both places, so I have experience. Yes, so if anyone wants, feel free. We've got this beautiful carpet here. I mean, you could even pull a chair up if you want. Oh yes, very good. Good girls. Hare Krishna. Divadanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastyachade Jatarani Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vanchakapatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Paritanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Yes, so Dobra Pajalavat Visyam. Oops, wrong language. That means welcome to all of you. But I was thinking what might be suitable, appropriate to just mention a bit about this evening. And I was thinking, it's always appropriate, and tonight's a good time to say something about association of devotees, or even association in general, like even association with non-devotees. And there's different types of devotees who you might associate with in different ways, and similarly there are different types of non-devotees who you might associate with in different ways. Funny little story, funny but little. One day I went with Dhananjaya Prabhu, who's a very senior Prabhupada disciple, and who happens to be a sort of distant cousin of mine, and we went and visited George Harrison of the Beatles at his home outside London. Big mansion. If you've seen Bhaktivedanta Manor, it's at least twice the size, at least, or more. Yeah. So anyway, there we were, and we talked with him for about 3 hours. And we were talking about chanting. And we were talking about chanting japa. And he told us that there was a period when he was just chanting japa all the time with beads in his bead bag. And people would ask him, what's this bag? What's going on? And he would say, I hurt my hand. So, there's sort of something to support my hand. Yeah. So they're not devotees. Prabhupada, I was present once when Prabhupada was at Bhaktivedanta Manor. He was leaving. He was going off somewhere else. But he had a little questions and answers session in the temple room in Bhaktivedanta Manor. Some of you... generator. Just bear with us. Don't worry. The lights will come on again. Krishna saved the day again, just see. He always does. So I was saying, Prabhupada was leaving London to go somewhere, and he had a questions and answers session in the temple room in Bhaktivedanta Manor. I was staying in the manor at the time, and I'm sure some of you have been to Bhaktivedanta Manor, just outside of London. And one devotee, one lady actually, asked Prabhupada, is there Krishna consciousness in hell? Thank you. Yes. That's a good answer. I like that. We'll probably get a few more on that side. Good. So Prabhupada gave an answer, a 3-word answer actually, and the way he said it, sort of the tone of voice, I will try to sort of mimic. Prabhupada said, London is hell. Yeah, really. Like that, kind of sarcastic. London is hell, which is true. Wet and miserable. And what do you say when you meet him? Privet. Privet. Yeah. Privet. Hi. So, the association of great devotees. Well, in a association with any sincere devotees, the really sort of crucial point is that they're genuine. If they're sort of, I don't know, a bit weird or not really taking it seriously, that sort of thing, then, that's another thing. But even sincere devotees who don't really know much. Prabhupada, one time, he said that when it comes to preaching to people, trying to present Krishna consciousness here, look, here's Krishna consciousness to people. Prabhupada said, if all you know about Krishna consciousness is that prasadam tastes good, just tell people that. And give them some prasadam. Thank you. Yes, it's true. If you don't know much, or if you hardly know anything, don't try to be smart and try and give some clever answers to some questions. Just tell them that you don't know. I mean, you could say, I don't know, but I'll find out and get back to you. That's one thing you could do. Or else, if they want to know a little more in depth about something, then you could try and get some more senior person to come and explain. But pretension, being pretentious, it means basically pretending. It's connected with the word pretending, being pretentious, trying to sort of show off when you don't really have the qualification you're trying to show off. That's not good. That's not good. So yeah, if all you know about Krishna consciousness is that prasadam tastes good, just tell people that and give them some prasadam. Do you like prasadam? Yeah. Do you like prasadam? Do you like prasadam? Okay, that's good. Everybody, anyone who doesn't like prasadam, you must know there's something seriously wrong with them. If they had prasadam but they didn't like it. In Russia, Versi means in Russia, in Russian. In Russia, they don't like prasadam. But otherwise, everyone likes prasadam. One time, when I hadn't been here long, it was in the 80s or even earlier 80s, when I was staying in Cato Ridge. The devotees told me about a special Durban chutney, which consists, it's like one of these green chutneys, not really, I think not cooked. The devotees told me this is very popular in Chatsworth. In Chats. Unit 2, Unit 3, if you know the geography. And you know what they said they call it? The people call it mother-in-law's revenge. Because in Western culture, I've seen, not in Indian culture, but in Western culture, mothers-in-law have very bad sort of reputations. It's true, Right. So then, if you get some of that, then you may say, oh, I don't like prasadam. But otherwise, in general, everyone likes prasadam. Yes. And if someone really doesn't like prasadam, then there must be something wrong with them. It's a fact. So, yeah. Anyway, association, there are two things. One is to get association. The other thing is to give association. And when it comes to getting association, we must be, in a sense, we must be careful to not get bad association. We used to go out, some of you do also in Durban or wherever. We used to go out and distribute books in the streets. like all day, like, 8 hours a day. We'd go out 8 in the morning or 9 maybe, and we'd finish about 6. Yeah. But we'd stop for a lunch. This is when we're traveling around. So we'd stop for lunch, and you know what we'd get? We would get sometimes dates, sometimes dried figs, sometimes peanuts, or sort of in the south, western parts, Devon, Cornwall, clotted cream, and it's so thick. You turn the thing, take the top off, turn it upside down, and it won't come out. It's practically just like butter. So one time devotees made for Prabhupada some halava with clotted cream. Means like super rich. Super rich. I forget. Begins with T. Anyway, this devotee, he was the temple president of our temple in Delhi at the time, which was about a 3-roomed flat, Delhi style. If you know what that means all the rooms are really small. So he was the temple president, but there was hardly anyone in the temple, living in the temple. And one day, Prabhupada's cook was sick. And so Prabhupada asked the temple president, I'm trying to remember his name. Anyway, temple president, can you cook? Can you cook upma? Upma is a traditional sort of Tamil type, although it's all over India, but traditionally it's Tamil. Yeah, that sort of thing. So the temple president, he went around the corner, was a super duper, absolutely super duper vegetarian restaurant, no onions and no garlic. So it was, maybe you've been in a 5-star restaurant. How many stars would you give our temple in Radhanath temple, our restaurant, or in Phoenix? I don't know. But this was about a 7-star restaurant, just way out, extreme, super extreme. And the head cook taught the temple president how to make the super duper, super pooper, most unbelievable, out of this world upma. And he made it for Prabhupada for lunch that day. And, it was the type of preparation where you cook, you just like a regular sized pot, not one of these big ones, but just kind of normal, couple of liters or something, 3 liters maybe. But on top was ghee, like about 2 centimeters of ghee, yes, or butter. Oh yes, it was high power. So he served it to Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada, when you served him prasadam, he would never, almost never, but hardly ever, eat everything that you put on his plate. And particularly if you tried, if you wanted to get some remnants, so therefore you put extra on Prabhupada's plate, then he'd take very little. He just wouldn't get into it. So anyway, it's only upma today for Prabhupada. Only upma. That's super duper upma. And the temple president, what was his name? Begins with T. I know him so well. Getting old. So he served Prabhupada, he cooked it, and there was no one else around, so he served it. And Prabhupada ate the whole plate of upma, everything, the whole lot. And Prabhupada asked, is there more? And Tejas is his name. That's right, thank you, Krishna. You heard that Krishna's the source of remembrance and forgetfulness? There's proof. So Tejas went and got another plate, the same, like a very healthy size serving of upma. And Prabhupada, he ate the whole lot. And Prabhupada asked, is there any more? And so Tejas brought the rest, all that was left. Now there's nothing left in the pot at all. And he brought that. And Prabhupada ate it all, the whole lot, every single grain, crumb. Then, and he made no comment. I mean, that was a comment in and of itself. That was a major comment. If Prabhupada ate everything, 3 helpings, that's like, there's never been such a compliment practically. But he didn't say anything. Then the next morning, you know what happened? Prabhupada got up late. That was unusual for Prabhupada. But he got up late just in time to go out for his morning walk. The morning walk would start 5:30 maybe, after Mongol Arati. So yeah, he got up maybe 5-ish, and normally he'd be up by 2 and translate, or even 1:30. But this day, Prabhupada got up late, took a bath, and then went out on the morning walk. You've probably heard mention of how Prabhupada, when he was on his morning walk, he would walk fast. And even young men, like in their 20s, they would struggle to keep up with him. This day, Prabhupada was walking very slow. Yeah. And every now and then, Prabhupada's walking, exercising basically. Every now and then he'd stop. The devotees would be following behind him. He would be in the lead. Then he would stop and turn around and say something about Krishna consciousness. Yes. Like for a minute or a couple of minutes or something like that. So Prabhupada stopped and turned around and said to there's a group of like several devotees, sannyasis, GBCs, Tejas, the temple president, only the very senior, several or so of the most senior devotees. And Prabhupada turned around, and you know what he said to them? He said, that devotee, didn't mention the name even, that devotee who cooked for me yesterday the upma, he tried to kill me. And the devotee was in shock. What on earth is this? What? And Tejas was there, and he was in total shock. What on earth is going on? And Prabhupada said, yes, he made some upma, and it was so nice I overate, and now my stomach is upset. Yeah, Prabhupada. So yeah, the association of Prabhupada, that's sort of another dimension of association. But we have His Holiness Adhokshaja Swami Maharaj. He's very good at association. Yeah. And what to speak of Adhokshaja Maharaj? we have His Holiness Parthasarathi Maharaj. And whenever I see a tent, I think of Parthasarathi Maharaj. And everyone on the left chant Hare Krishna. Everyone on the right, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
You were there, right? Weren't you? In those days. I was there. Yeah. Right. So, I remember we did a tent campaign in Suzela. Suzela is here today, right? Yeah. We did a tent campaign, and there was this tall American devotee who was part of the tent campaign team. His name, I think, was Yashoda Vatsala, something like that. And they did a drama. We walked in here at the end, towards the end of the drama, and who's acting as lust, another one who's acting as anger, another one who's greed. So this Yashoda Vatsala, he was acting as anger. And when it was his time to come in and sort of, come in, make his entrance, he came in from the back. So nobody knew what was going on. And he came in screaming and shouting and picking up children and throwing them in the air. It was wild. So, but anyway, the thing is, we need good association. Parthasarathi Maharaj is very special. If it wasn't for him, how many got? Yes, that's a pretty obvious point. So we need to get good association, and we need to be a little careful. All here, Krishna was in Vrindavan, at least those recorded in the Bhagavatam. The serpent, he's a snake. He represents the anartha of trying to poison the hearts of the devotees. Not literally like with cyanide or something of that sort, but with poisonous talk. Yeah, poisonous talk. Because there's a saying that the tongue is like a bow, like bow and arrow, like a bow. And what you say is like an arrow. And the target, when you're speaking something, is the other person's ears. So the saying is that the tongue is a very accurate weapon.